Hey everybody, this Hilux has done nearly 600,000 Ks, so I bet you'd be interested if you've got a Hilux to see how it's really falling apart underneath and how it's a throwaway car and you need to get rid of it. Tell you what, if you got one of those BYDs, I don't think it'd be looking anywhere near this good at even 100,000 Ks, but anyway, 600,000 Ks nearly. All right, let's have a bit of a look. So tyres there, they're getting a bit low. It's got the OME suspension in it. It's looking all right at the moment. To talk about suspension as far as that goes, looks all right. The drive shafts, as you can see, they look just like a car that's done 100, 200, 300 or anything else. Probably the originals. We can see the boot's just starting to have a bit of a crack there as it gets old, right? So interesting. The normal sweat on the bottom of the steering rack, you can see the oil on the bottom. So like I said, just very slow. It's standard. It can be happening at 100,000 Ks. Nothing changed here. At some stage, there might have been some oil leaking, or there still is, because people have worked on the vehicle or haven't worked on the vehicle, and there's oil coming from above on the engine. That's what I'm seeing anyway. Let's not waste too much time looking up around in here, but we should have started at the front. I'm just looking up to check the radiator out. Looks all right to me. This is a quick 10-minute, what can we find on a 600,000 K Hilux to make some money? Or if I was a roadworthy tester, what can I pick out? Upper control arms. No play in the ball joints or bushes that we've detected so far at either side. And the same on the lower ball joints. A little bit of play in one of the rack ends. Was it one of them or both of them?
Yeah, just driver's side.
Driver's side, how much? What, a millimetre or less? Not even worth talking about, that's it. A little bit of a sweat around that boot up there up here on the link pin for the sway bar, and that'll be because somebody's damaged it working on it, maybe doing the suspension. I think there's a little nick if you look closely in the bottom of that boot there. I don't know if you can see it. See, it looks like a little nick there. And then the oily stuff from the grease just sweats out of there. Not a big deal. It'll still last forever, but you can replace it if you want. This side you'll find bone dry. Yep, there you go, as suspected. A little bit of sweat on the upper ball joint. There's no issue with that. Is that boot ripped open? No, it's just a rub mark. It's not ripped open. So no play in any of the suspension components. Let's have a look at these bushes on the Hilux. They just seem to fare so much better than the Prado ones, don't they? Has everybody noticed that? We don't show as many Hilux ones because it's boring. There's never anything to see. Do you notice that as well? Yeah, on the Hilux you don't really see any issues, do you? Yeah, they don't go off-roaders, and Prados for off-road. Hiluxes they're the work utes, mate. They're the chippies, mate, with the tools in the back. Right, so we've just done an oil change, so we're going to clean that up a bit more. That'll be around about the, I don't know, 60th oil change on this engine. You can see there's a lot of oil mess around things, but that's not really a problem. It's not dripping, so even at 600,000 Ks, these Toyotas, beautiful. Pan looks good. Let's see if we can work out if the pan gasket's been off, if it's original. Looks pretty original, hasn't been off anytime soon. The nut on the inhibitor switch there was loose, so we've just nipped that up and blocked that up. So the little metal tab on there that holds it locked, middle of the picture, that wasn't sort of bent in. But it's covered in mud. I wouldn't imagine it's been replaced, but yeah, so keep an eye on that. If you've got a Hilux with a 4-speed auto, I'll check out mine. Looks like the original sealant. I don't think that pan's ever been off. So transmission's bulletproof. Good news for my 4-speed auto. It's not even at half of its life. In case you're wondering what model it is, there it is. You can let me know in the comments because I can't even read it. You can put the model number, whatever transmission it is. Thank you. Turbo looks good. It's got the usual wetness on the bottom of it up there, but I wouldn't be worried about that. We've seen them like that even at 100,000 Ks and whatever, the Toyota deal will tell you to replace it. Is there anything I've missed? Generally, chit chat. We're not going to talk about brake pads, wear and tear items, but I'm just showing you general condition of the vehicle. It could do with a good cleanup, obviously, and it could do with a bit more love. If you want something to last a long time like this, you can get lucky, or you can put the maintenance and effort in to look after it to make sure it lasts. And that's what we do. That's what I do on my cars and promote for you to do on your vehicle, but you can do whatever you want. Transfer case, bone dry, that usual tiny little whatever, like who cares, we're not even talking about it. Any play in the unis on the prop shafts, anything like that? Give those a bit of a jiggle for me, can you? So, well, I'll do this, you go and check all those out. Any movement?
Still firm.
Yeah, so there you go. Might be a tiny little in there. I haven't checked it myself yet, but just let's go to the back now because I'm not seeing much to see here. We're not going to check under the bonnet in this one. You've seen it in another video maybe. I'd say it's had the wheel cylinders done by the look of those. I need to do the wheel cylinders on my Hilux. I could be wrong as well. That could be just originals. It's got Petter's shockers in the rear. Diff's not leaking. Axle bearing. I'm going to guess the axle bearings are probably original as well, so don't panic on that. The rubber on the Petter's not really the best, but not too bad. Anything at the back here that you've seen? Looks all right, huh? Okay, nothing to see here. Exhaust is exhaust. That'll just last forever. 600,000 Ks. Nothing to spend here. Toyota's not a good way for us to make money. If we're looking to make money, then we'd just work on all other makes and models, wouldn't we? Why would we only work on Toyotas? Because we can't work on everything, and we choose to work on what we have chosen to keep and use ourselves. Someone's bent that brake line at some point in time, taking the caliper off. Just be careful. You need to take that bracket off first. If you take the caliper off to do your brakes, don't do your brakes unless you know what you're doing, because it's a matter of life and death. See, same thing there. See, it's got that kink in it. It's like a bit of a whoop whoop. Should be nice and straight. But anyway, pretty good looking vehicle underneath, other than a clean up. All right, mate, what did I miss? What have you seen that I haven't seen yet? That's it. Beautiful. Tyres at this side. They're wearing pretty good considering, you know, 600,000 K car. If this was an old Falcon, wouldn't be looking anywhere like anywhere near as good as that. Last year? Oh, really?
Yeah, 24.
Nah, no way, mate. You're reading the wrong numbers. Show me.
I don't read wrong, man.
Dreaming, mate. Really? Oh, I was going to say the condition of them isn't really good. Does that tell you anything, anyone? Right, okay, they're MAGA AT TWOs. I'm looking at them going, they're old and crap. And I'm looking at the rubber in here, going, they look like they're 5 years old. See all those tiny little cracks in between the treads? So be warned, I'm not going to say anything in this video, but the quality you get from some places is questionable. You know, they can certainly make quality, and that's what you should be afraid of. But they know how to give you garbage. You want cheap, we'll give you cheap, all right? So, bada bing, bada boomski. Nothing else to see here. What are these crappy tyres? The rear tyres look much better. So, time for them to go on the front, really. And a rotating balance is to go. It's due for a rotating balance. But I've got to say, I don't like the design on these tyres because, okay, so the problem is, I'll put that light away and just point out. So, you got nice, sort of not that deep tread. It's a rip-off tyre because the tread's not that deep, but let's call it nice deep tread here. And then you got the water coming out here, and then it hits those blocks. That's literally got about 2 millimeters. The tyres are rounded off at the edges, so there's no tread depth at the edge, which is might be good for some reason, but on a full drive, no, I don't like it. So nice big deep tread, and then right where the tread rounds off here, and you've got these blocks here to support every second one, so the water just can't get out, and that's where you end up with your aquaplaning problems. So not a tyre design that I like. Hope you learnt something in this video. If you did, subscribe, turn the bell on. Yeah, I showed him in the last. Yeah. What does that mean? What are you trying to say, mate?
Quality in tyres isn't the best in time.
Yeah. So there you go, everybody. Bada bing, bada boomski. Catch you on the next one. Subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss it. Ciao.